Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. Today's book which I'm going to review is a real world guide which has helped millions of people. The name of this book is Handbook of COVID-19 Prevention and Treatment by Zhang University of Medical Sciences. So as we all know, COVID is a very debilitating disease, and yeah, it has killed many people, millions of people. It was a crisis for our country and for the whole world, which has gone through this phase. And congratulations to all who have survived. It was very hard phase of the life, and many people have lost their life in those time. Many we have loved, we have lost the loved ones on those times, and it was a very hard time for us. So this book, on that time I was reading this book. So this book has been written in 2019, and when the COVID struck, and it is the first book ever published. It is the handbook of the COVID, which is published and is published by the doctors who has written their experiences on how they have treated COVID on the initial phases. And at last, this book has been proven to have a gold standard of the structural ways of treating COVID. So this handbook was one of the most first comprehensive documents published in the 2019 in the COVID that struck in 2020, and it covers every stage of managing the disease, like from early screening, diagnosis, and clinical treatment, and critical care and recovery. Everything is written in this book. So what makes this book powerful is that it has experience of the frontline workers, like real cases, real strategies, and real solutions, which has been covered by the doctors who were experiencing uh, all these diseases and all the consequences of the diseases, and how they have managed to overcome this disease. They have all mentioned it. So the book also includes the control protocols which were established at that time, and healthcare worker safety measures, and the hospital managing strategies that actually became a gold standard for the all the hospitals later on. So this book structured approach, like it has very steps of the diseases, like prevention, how to prevent the disease, the diagnosis, treatment, the nursing care, the psychological support, and this made is essentially reference for the doctors, for the nurses, and the medical students worldwide. So the three things which this book gives you is preparation, save lives. First thing is this. So if you are already prepared for any diseases, it will save life. Second thing is evidence-based practice. This book emphasizes using scientific and data-driven methods, and not just panic and speculation that this will happen, this should happen. No, they have already done many practicals and experiments through in the labs and coronavirus uh, vaccines. So it is actually evidence based. And those of you who don't know that, they must be asking that Corona is struck in 2020 and how they are managed to do all this thing, because there is a virus, coronavirus already exists in the world before the coronavirus actually it struck humans. They were present in the dogs and the other animals. So if you are a pet lover who loves dogs, basically, so you must be knowing this coronavirus. They used to get shots of coronavirus, but this disease spread in the humans, and all this happens. The third thing is humanity is medicine. So in the highlights, the importance of empathy and the psychological care for both the patient and the healthcare staff is very important, because those times doctor were working. I was doing a master's at that time, so everything was blocked. Everything was blocked. But we were in masters, and we have to go to hospitals, and we have to see the patient. So there were special buses for us which were running from different locations, 2 3 locations, so that we can reach to that location. And there were special arrangements were made for us so that we can reach the hospital and treat those patients. you know at least we'll provide some healthcare services to those patients, because there was no cure at that time. So, in my opinion, this handbook is a symbol of global medical unit, and this is how knowledge sharing across the world actually saves millions of lives, and it can literally change the course of a global crisis. So, this book was the first book which I have written, and this book was, I guess, suggested by my friend Satyan, and he's a very good friend of mine, and he had suggested me this thing, that there is a book published by this university. It was latest. This was the, because I used to read books a lot, and he said, "Ki, this is the latest book on the COVID. and the first book ever written by the same university. The university lies in China. The disease also spread from the China. So the doctors, how they managed it, how what were their experiences, it was all written and published in a very short span of time. It was beautiful. That's why it is called a handbook, handbook of COVID-19. So treatment and prevention. So every medical student, healthcare worker, and policymakers can learn something from this book. So I hope in future, and if even if you are doing some researches in future, so you can have this book and for a reference kind of thing, so that you'll get to know that this thing happens in in the past. So we cannot repeat this, and we can repeat this things like for structural policies in the hospital, so that you are prepared for such diseases in future. Okay, thank you so much guys for actually watching my videos, and for subscribing my channel, and thank you so much. I hope by the time I'll get better through these reviews, and I'll start to share my experiences also with you. Thank you so much. Take care and see you in next video. Keep subscribing, keep sharing the videos. Thank you so much.